Novak Djokovic just gave one of the most brutally honest press conferences in tennis history. After being demolished by Jannik Sinner in straight sets, the 24-time Grand Slam champion didn't hide behind excuses or injuries. Instead, he delivered a raw, unfiltered assessment of where he stands at 38 years old. What he said will change how we view aging athletes forever.
What struck me most was Djokovic's complete vulnerability. He said it's just age, the wear and tear of the body, and the reality hits me like never before. This wasn't someone making excuses. This was someone confronting the most difficult truth any elite athlete faces. That time is undefeated. The honesty was both heartbreaking and enlightening.
His admission that he goes into matches against Sinner and Alcaraz with tank half empty was stunning. Here's someone who's dedicated his entire life to physical preparation, acknowledging that no amount of training can overcome the fundamental reality of aging. It's a masterclass in self-awareness from one of sport's greatest competitors.
The most powerful moment was when he said, "I feel like I'm going into the match with tank half empty and it's just not possible to win a match like that." He wasn't complaining or making excuses, he was stating a fact. The brutal honesty of that admission gives us unprecedented insight into what it's like to be a champion facing decline.
Dr. Mitchell Marcus, Elena, let's examine what made this press conference so remarkable and what Djokovic's honesty reveals about the psychology of aging in elite sport.
The moment Djokovic walked into that room, you could see he was processing something profound. When he cut off the host and said, "Let's go quick, let's go straight in," that wasn't rudeness, that was someone who had just experienced a fundamental shift in self-perception and needed to articulate it while it was still raw and honest.
His comment about reaching semifinals at every slam this year but having to face Sinner or Alcaraz was particularly revealing. He said, "These guys are fit, young, sharp, and I feel like I'm going into the match with tank half empty." That's not self-pity, that's analytical honesty about the gap between where he is and where they are.
What made his honesty so compelling was the lack of bitterness. He said, "I want to congratulate Jannik for another great performance. He was too strong." Then he immediately pivoted to acknowledging his own limitations without diminishing Sinner's achievement. That takes remarkable emotional maturity and self-awareness.
He also made a fascinating point about his preparation. Let's talk about that challenge he issued.
When he said, "I'd like to challenge everyone who is out there on the tour to see if anybody takes care of themselves more than me," that wasn't arrogance. That was someone grappling with the reality that maximum effort doesn't guarantee results anymore. He's discovered the painful truth that preparation can't overcome biology forever.
That statement reveals the athlete's eternal question, what more can I do? He's reached the limits of human preparation and maintenance, yet he's still coming up short against younger opponents. It's not about excuses, it's about confronting the mathematical reality of age versus youth in professional sport.
Perhaps the most remarkable part was his philosophical reflection on success and failure.
His comment about getting so much from God and life in my career, and that it would be a disservice to start complaining about injuries showed incredible perspective. Here's someone who could easily blame circumstances, but instead chose gratitude and accountability. That level of self-reflection in the immediate aftermath of a painful loss is extraordinary.
What he articulated was the athlete's dilemma of aging gracefully. He said, "I've been fit for so long and had an incredible career," while simultaneously acknowledging current limitations. That balance between appreciation for past success and honest assessment of present capabilities is psychologically sophisticated.
But he also made it clear this isn't the end. What did you make of his future plans?
His statement, "I'm planning to come back, definitely at least one more time," wasn't defiance or denial. It was someone who understands their limitations but isn't ready to surrender yet. He's clear-eyed about his challenges while maintaining the competitor's refusal to quit. That's not delusion, that's choice with full awareness.
He admitted he doesn't know what he can do differently because he already does everything possible for preparation. That honesty about reaching the limits of what's controllable while still wanting to compete shows the complex psychology of elite athletes facing decline. It's neither purely rational nor purely emotional, it's human.
What made this press conference historically significant?
Rarely do we get such unvarnished insight into the mind of a champion facing decline. Djokovic gave us a real-time case study in how elite athletes process the reality of aging. His honesty about physical limitations, emotional disappointment, and future uncertainty provides invaluable insight into the psychology of competitive excellence.
He also normalized the conversation about aging in sport. By openly discussing his tank half-empty reality and the impossibility of competing equally with younger athletes, he's given permission for other aging competitors to be honest about their own limitations without shame or stigma.
Most importantly, he showed that brutal honesty and continued competition aren't mutually exclusive. You can acknowledge limitations while still choosing to compete. You can be realistic about outcomes while maintaining competitive drive. That nuanced approach is rare in professional sports.
Final thoughts on what we witnessed today.
Djokovic gave us something priceless today, complete honesty about the reality of aging as an elite athlete. No excuses, no bitterness, just raw truth about what it feels like when your body can no longer support your competitive ambitions. That honesty is a gift to every athlete who will face the same reality.
His admission that he reaches semifinals but goes into crucial matches with tank half empty is perhaps the most honest assessment of athletic decline ever given. It explains everything about his current position in tennis while maintaining dignity and respect for his opponents. That's leadership through vulnerability.
What we witnessed was a masterclass in how to handle decline with grace, honesty, and continued competitive spirit. Djokovic showed that acknowledging limitations doesn't mean surrendering hope, and that brutal honesty about aging can coexist with the desire to keep competing. That's a lesson that extends far beyond tennis.
Novak Djokovic walked into that press conference and delivered something we rarely see in professional sports: complete, unvarnished honesty about the reality of aging. No excuses, no false hope, just truth. He acknowledged his limitations while maintaining his competitive spirit, showed gratitude for his achievements while being realistic about his future. In a world of carefully crafted athlete personas, Djokovic gave us something infinitely more valuable: authentic humanity in the face of inevitable decline. Sometimes the most courageous thing a champion can do is tell the truth.